Hi guys, so today I have a couple new items to share with you from Spellbinders for their new February 2023 Club Kit collections. The 3D embossing folder and the clear stamp of the month with the die. If you're getting the total package, of course all these things will be in there. You can get the stamp by itself, you can get the stamp and die as another kit. So Spellbinders did send these items free of charge for my review, and of course all opinions are my own, and any links I have in the description box will be affiliate links, which means I'll make a small commission if you purchased items to those links. So thanks for using those. They're just right down under the title. You might have to click show more, but it expands that description box. So we have we have Pocket Bunny, super cute. I already kind of talked about all these different things in the unboxing of the total package, so I'll link that video in the description box if you haven't seen it yet. So we'll play with this one today. Photopolymer stamp set, really adorable. If you're getting the stamp and die or the total package or those kind of value clubs, you get the dies that go along with it, and it cuts this guy out and it also cuts this guy, and then all of the sentiments have dies for them too, so that's really great. Always nice to be able to stamp a sentiment, cut it out, and pop it wherever you'd like. So we have that. And I'm going to use a Spring Burst 3D embossing folder. This is, like I said, 3D embossing folder, so you do need like the universal plate system. If you're running this through your regular machine, it's not impossible. You're just going to have to do some fun sandwiching, okay, to make that work. But this is a larger embossing folder and super gorgeous. And you can see all this stylized like fern kind of florals, just really, really lovely. So when I run it through, I will run it through with the universal system. And let me grab that plate system right now. These are your basic plates. I also have the adapter and all those things. So I believe that's what we will be using today. So how to build the 3D embossing folder sandwich. Your platform base, just A, not A and B, just A. The paper within your embossing folder, and then the adapter plate, which I am in love with. That adapter plate is amazing. It's just the sizing of it is just perfect. It's just in between like having a cutting plate or the other thing. It works out really well. So for the different sandwiches you might have to make for different things, it really helps out. So I'm gonna grab a card. I would say get a card, but get a card base, and standard A2 size, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4.25. This is just from the card kit, the club kit. Oh, that's funny. Okay, so, I'm going to grab some paper. We'll do the embossing, and then we'll have our cute little image on top of that. So that's what I'm planning for today, but I will be right back. I grabbed some paper. The reason I said, oh, it's funny, is because I know the club kit this month has very pastel colors in it. And I thought, you know what, why don't we use the green that comes from that? I mean, blue would be lovely, too. There's a pinky and a yellow. I'll use this kind of minty green, and it's already cut down to the whole size of the card base. I like to cut mine a little bit smaller, so I'm going to cut this a little bit smaller to 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. But if you want to use the whole thing, or mat at 4 by 5 1/4, however it is that you like, I'm going to cut it first, and then I'm just going to place it in here and run it through just with the sandwich you see here. And I'll be right back. As I was putting this in here, I wasn't just gonna, I was gonna pop it in here, but I thought, well, if we're gonna put our little bunny in, I think I want to use a little pocket guy. Like, how cute is it to look at this and kind of frame him out, right? So, like, see how this flower is here? I don't know if you can see that. And then, like, this fern kind of comes around here. I think that'd be a cute one to have up in the corner. So, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna use this as part of the design, Frame it out real nice. That looks pretty right there. And that's what I'll do. So I'll be right back. There we go. And wow. Look at that. Oh my goodness. I'm telling you, Spellbinders has the most gorgeous and elegant and just well done 3D embossing folders. I'm always impressed. Like, it's just, look at even the back. It looks really pretty. It looks like it's been carved like in butter. I don't know how to explain that. It's so pretty. So I'm going to go ahead and just glue this down. Of course, I use a wet glue, especially with this, because it has a lot of hills and valleys and nooks and crannies and all that. So just get your glue on there, and I'll stick that down, and I'll be right back. Have that stuck down there and looking gorgeous. We'll put these guys to the side for right now. I'm just going to stamp on this white paper. Now, this is not watercolor paper or anything special. Well, it's marker paper, so I guess it is a little bit special, but it's just regular, pretty much paper, just like a thick, high quality cardstock. And I'm just gonna stamp our little guy, and I'll stamp him with some ink. Oh, that's interesting. Should we go ahead and heat emboss it just to have that pop? I guess we can do that. Let's do that. And then I'll also do, you know, you have a hopping by to say hi, sending a pocket full of happiness. I do like this one just because it's a larger sentiment, just do a little something more on our paper. So let's do that. So I would stamp them kind of like this. And let me go ahead and pick them up. So yeah, we'll definitely heat emboss them. Let me make sure I have my black embossing powder. I'm gonna stamp it with black ink and heat and set them. So you can do, you know, a colored ink, clear embossing powder, whatever it is that is best for you. I'm going to really get this on here though, because I don't want too much over sprinkling, especially if you're using a black powder. It's very noticeable. Let me see if I can have that there. Yeah, I don't know that I can have this magnet here. Maybe I can have it over here. Okay, so let's check it out. So let's do some VersaFine. Hybrid inks work well with this kind of thing too, because they do take a second to dry. But they will dry quicker than something like VersaFine. So you just want to work quickly. Again, photopolymer, nice and stiff material. Look how gorgeous. So cute. And so then I'm just going to top that off with some embossing powder. Let me get like a little, let's try to get like a scrap of paper or something that I can sprinkle the embossing powder on afterward, and then pour it back into my jar. And then we'll heat set it. So just get your heat tool and heat set that. And let's just get that guy going. And over here, you know, do a little tapping, and then I'll turn it over and just give it a good couple good taps there. All right, and I will heat set this, and I'll be right back. Hey guys, so we have our little guy here, and so all I'm gonna do is take a moment to add a little watercoloring. Like I said, this is not watercolor paper, but I'm just gonna do a little something. And let me get something behind here. Just a water brush, maybe a napkin to wipe that off on, making sure this is kind of clean to begin with. See, there was some blue on there. And let me see, I want to get some gray, but I don't want too much kind of browny gray for our little bunny. And again, just kind of starting in here. And just adding a little something. Right, he's a cute, sweet little bunny. And maybe something in there. I'll get a little bit closer for you guys because I know it's hard to see that. And maybe he needs a little pink. Ooh, I only have some super bright pink in here, so let me try to get some of that wiped off. A little pink in the little ears. That one's turned the other way, and maybe a little pink around his little cheeks. If you want that. And, you know, does he have a little pink nose, little brown nose, little black nose, whatever it is that you think should have. Let's give him a little bit of grayness there. And just adding color here and there. I'm going to get some of this blue. Let me see if this is green. Ooh, that's a pretty blue, but it's too tealy. Okay, let's do that one. And I'm going to color in my little pocket. And we'll try to color this whole thing in. Just keeping it mostly darker blue at the very top here, like where there might be shadow, and then just bringing it down. Finish that off. Again, just super easy breezy, beautiful centers. My little flower centers, maybe I'll pop them with a little green. And, you know, your flowers can be different colors, all the same color, whatever it is that you like. I think we did that. So let's do, let me see, what color is our card? It's kind of a minty green, huh? Maybe we'll go with like yellow, orangey flowers. So I'm just dipping in some yellow. Maybe I'll grab some orange. Let's bring it out to the end. And I'll probably come back with a little darker orange or whatever. Out here. And just bring them to the end, and then just a little bit of orange right in the very center, just to give a little variation of color. So I'll do that with all the little flowers and wait for this to dry, and I'll be right back. I love the way he came out. I love the way the watercolor just sat on this. Again, this paper is not watercolor paper, so it just takes it in a little bit differently, and I think that looks like photo print, like just really cool. Okay, so we have that, and then I think it's this one possibly. So I will run these through. Just looking down through them, it's very easy. You can see where you're at. And I'll put a little tape mostly towards the outside just in case I don't want to pull my embossing off. And this guy you can also see pretty well right down in there where you're cutting. So I'll do that. And I've given you a tip in the past if you like, or if you don't like, you know, a lot of white border or just to see that, you can definitely just take like some of the blue watercolor and just go around the edge. So when you cut it, it has like a different color. I mean, it could be any color, I suppose. It doesn't have to be blue. But I'm going to run this through and I'll be right back. We'll bring this guy back. Bring this guy. How cute. Oh my goodness. And then a little sending a pocket full of happiness. And I think we'll just have him here. Like I said, I wanted to kind of have this kind of around him, and then we can just kind of pop this up here. So I am going to hopefully straighten that out a little bit. Yeah, with the heat embossing and the watercoloring and all that, just sometimes make your paper a little bit wonky. So I'm definitely going to hold this down and just kind of, again, tucking him in over here. So he's just kind of out here. It's not right in the center. It's a little bit more up center. I'm going to hold that down. In the meantime, I'm going to put some dimensionals on the back of this guy. How sweet is that? I love him. So cute. And I just have some dimensionals on this like I had mentioned. So let's pop this guy like in here and just eyeballing that. Looks pretty good. And there is my card. Sweet and simple and just so fun. I love just adding that watercoloring and just having fun with it. It just looks really nice. So thanks for watching, guys. Thank you so much, Spellbinders, for sending these items for review. The links in the description box. I'll have images coming up, and I will see you all at the next one. Bye now.